So, I want to tell this little story about this example of reclaiming my power and what that looks like to, like, what it looks like from all angles as far as what is the situation where I felt like I needed to reclaim my power? Why did I feel like I needed to do that? And then how did I do it? And then, what happened afterwards? So I'll start at the very beginning as far as why did I feel like reclaiming my power was the appropriate next step. And that was because I was feeling blocked. There, I'll give you a few words as far as how I was feeling. Blocked is the most significant one. Burdened was another one. Um, Kind of up against it, like down to the wire in an uncomfortable way. Like the actual scenario is I have a deadline in 3 days. I haven't started, and it's a significant chunk of work. And I've been feeling the pressure of you need to do that. You need to do that. You need to do that. Why aren't you doing that? Oh my gosh, you're still not doing that. Like there's been all of that kind of playing in the background for the last several days. Like, you have less than a week, right? And that's a lot of work that you need to do. So there's been this little voice in my mind, kind of, for lack of a better word, harassing me. It's just me harassing myself um, over my tardiness with this work and this looming deadline. And so this is a very uncomfortable feeling that I'm describing. And maybe you've been there. Maybe you've been like down to the wire and you're not sure if you're going to get it done, and you really like don't even know where to start. Like it's not even that you're working on it and like, oh man, I might be running out of time. It's like you haven't even started yet and you don't even know where to start. So like the big pile of work, like it's still just sitting there, like almost taunting you. Like, what if you can't even do this? Kind of questions get brought up when it really gets going. And so the discomfort, that's how I know that my power isn't with me. I'm feeling powerless. I'm feeling inadequate. I'm worried that I might be inferior. I I feel powerless. I feel like I don't know if I can do this, or I don't know how I'm going to do this. And that's stress. And again, that's how I recognized, oh, there's power. There's what Robert Scheinfeld in Busting Loose from the Money Game calls Easter eggs of your power. When you're uncomfortable, that discomfort is letting you know that you are right next to, you are feeling an Easter egg of your power, and you can reclaim it. And so I have that idea, right? I just finished that book last week, Busting Loose from the Money Game. It is by far the most spot on tool and process as far as this current Taurus North Node, Scorpio South Node 18-month long transit that we are going through, where we are purging our karmic relationship dynamics and reclaiming our power from said relationship patterns, and instead owning that power, standing strong within the well-being that is us, aka Taurus, owning our power, providing for ourselves and our own stability and security, finding true security inside of ourselves. And so that process of reclaiming our power is exactly what he's talking about in Busting Loose from the Money Game. And when I recognized like just how uncomfortable I really was, like just how stressed out I really was, and how that stress was causing me to procrastinate because it was an overwhelming task. I didn't know where to start. And so, because I was stressed, I was procrastinating, I was staying off the subject because I don't know what to do with it yet. And normally that's fine, except here's this deadline. So all the perfect components were there for reclaiming my power from, let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 things that I found in this one situation that I have described so far. 10 things, 10 different Easter eggs of my power that were coming together in this perfect combination of Easter eggs, perfect combination of pieces, still holding my power. And they all came together in this one situation and made me incredibly uncomfortable. And I would even consider myself to be a very empowered individual, but that does not mean that I can't find myself in a situation surrounded by Easter eggs of my power that I have yet to claim. So the things I'm going to share it all. The things that I did, the 10 things that I did reclaim my power from. Oh, they're so good. I reclaim my power from schedules, holding a lot of my power. I reclaim my power from deadlines. Tricky little things, those deadlines. They hold a lot of power to make us feel all kinds of discomfort. It's, schedules and deadlines. And the third one, I reclaim my power from time. Schedules, deadlines, and time, those are all part of the time illusion package. And they are all designed to show us where we are not holding our full power. I reclaim my power from my reputation. I realized there was definitely part of me that, part of why the deadline and the schedule was such a big deal was because I was worried what the group would think of me. What would they say to the people who recommended me if I start missing deadlines and blah, blah, blah? Like, I'm worried about my reputation. Another illusion of the human game. I reclaim my power from trying to control the way I feel. I reclaim my power from trying to control the way I feel. I have been beating myself up for procrastinating. I've been beating myself up for not knowing how to get started. I've been beating myself up for beating myself up. And all of that is, pushing against the way I feel right now. And the way I feel right now is overwhelmed. And instead of loving myself and leaning into the discomfort of being overwhelmed, I'm like setting calendar reminders like, okay, fine, you don't have to do it today, but you have to do it tomorrow. And like, I reclaim my power from trying to control the way I feel. I reclaim my power from worrisome thoughts. Worrisome thoughts like, what if it doesn't get done? What if I don't figure it out? What if I'm late? What if they're mad? What if? I reclaim my power from worrisome thoughts. I reclaim my power from the idea that things that I do will make me good enough or not good enough. I reclaim my power from the very idea that good enough is a thing. It's an illusion. I'm already good enough. I reclaim my power from all of these illusions, the entire illusion of being physical. I am more than this. I reclaim my power from my word, my spoken human physical word. I reclaim my power from my word. I reclaim my power from needing to keep my word to others. Again, see above with reclaiming my power from my reputation, which is basically to say I reclaim my power from needing to control what other people think about me. That's 10 in like just no time at all. That as I really started looking at why am I uncomfortable? Why is it uncomfortable to consider missing this deadline, this arbitrary mark on an arbitrary measurement of this illusion of time? Why is it uncomfortable? And when you really lean into that question, Like he says in Busting Loose from the Money Game, like the first step in the process of reclaiming your power is to go into the discomfort. Why is it uncomfortable? What is it that's poking you, and where is it poking you? And, get your journal out and reclaim your power from whatever it is that you feel like has it. Any discomfort that we feel. Like, this is a very simple example that is between me and the timeline that I wrote, right? Like, I set these deadlines and now I'm about to miss it and I'm freaking out about it. And like, again, I just am so very grateful for this project in general. Like, I feel like, when I wrote the proposal to take on this project, I valued my time and I estimated how many hours it's going to take, and I put it together as far as like, okay, so here's the work that I'm going to do and here's what you're going to pay me for this work, and like easy breezy. And now I feel like the little bit of money that I am making off of doing this work is not even close to what this work is actually paying me, as far as the real payment from taking on this project is to reclaim this power, is to fully embody and sink into and understand the illusory nature of time and deadlines and schedules and the arbitrary nature of all of that. And as if you do follow astrology, as a Virgo South Node, as an Earth energy South Node, my past life experiences have led me to be extremely grounded in the physical, extremely capable, and, if I do say so myself, quite talented at doing things in the earth realm, at playing the human game. I'm almost a little too good at it that I forget that it's just a game. It's all just an illusion that I am actually more than this. I am a soul. I am an extension of source energy, and I came here for the most part to entertain myself. I'm an eternal being, and eternity gets real long when you're just sitting around. So I came into the physical and I chose to be a person, and I'm having this human experience, this ability to get to be creative, to have a life force that I get to focus on whatever I want. And over these last few days, I have been not like consciously focusing on stress and worry, but it's been like unconsciously kind of just in the back of my mind, like a little storm cloud hanging over my head, like just following me wherever I go. And I just like felt like I couldn't shake it. I couldn't, you know, get my positivity going and override these thoughts that were back there. And I see now why that's the case, because they had my power. The little bit of power that I had, which I mean, the lot of bit of power that I have, wasn't enough to combat the thing that's holding my power also. It was like I'm using my own power against myself. And by setting this deadline and then like holding my feet to the fire, as far as like, you're going to meet this deadline or else you're not good enough, or else it's going to tank your reputation, or else like, or else, what if, worrisome thoughts. They were brewing and they were holding my power. And that's why nothing I did would get rid of them except reclaiming my power. And now, yeah, like the journaling, it goes on for just a little bit. It says, I am so grateful for this project and how it's helping me to reclaim so much power. It's helping me to be able to clearly see how much of my power is still floating in the ethers around me. This project is primarily paying me in the opportunity to claim so much more of my power. And with that, I could see. I could see exactly how I'm going to start. And I said, it's already starting to open up for me. I was feeling blocked on being able to approach the first step, but it's opening up with ideas for fun ways to begin. I'm seeing that I'll start by going into this one particular document and fleshing out the initial questions I had when I read it the first time. From there, I'll have this piece started and I'll get going on this piece. And it's like the enthusiasm is natural. The enthusiasm, the ability, the skills, I have it all. I know that. And it just wasn't flowing. And I was worried about it not getting done. And I see now how, like, in that whole entire picture, the worry represented pieces of my power that I had yet to claim. And that really the whole point of me taking on this project, yes, I am creating a business plan for a group to move forward on their project so they can have the thing that they want. But at the same time, like as Robert Scheinfeld talks about in the Busting Loose from the Money Game book, it's all an illusion and they're just actors playing a part. They're just reading off the script that I gave them to hire me to do this for them. So if you go with that thought, like this whole entire project is to help me become a more empowered version of myself than I was before. And the reason that this stuck out to me is because I have a lot of different pieces in my world right now floating as far as new beginnings go. And it looks like an overwhelming amount of things, and yet I don't feel overwhelmed until this piece came. This one piece is like blocked. It's majorly stressing me out. And none of the other pieces are stressing me out. So like what the hell? It was just weird. It was like so weird that for days I couldn't even see it. It was so unconscious, the stress, that I was like, I'm not stressed. I'm not a stressed out person. I've overcome that. I've already healed that part of myself. Ha ha ha. And then I get this one project and it's like, here's some stress. And anytime we feel stress, anytime we feel discomfort of any kind, that is such a good sign that you are on the verge. You are on the verge, my dear friend, of becoming a more powerful you, of reclaiming a little bit more of the God energy that you are, the God energy that you tucked into that Easter egg and plopped it out into your experience so that it could hold power over you, so that you could feel uncomfortable, so that you could reclaim every ounce of the power inside that Easter egg. And sometimes, we do it once. I reclaim my power from schedules. I reclaim my power from deadlines. It definitely helped me to feel better right now. And like I said, like it opened up the path. The energy's now flowing. I can see exactly where I'm going to start. I can see like once I do that, then it'll naturally lead to this and this and this. And okay, yeah, it'll come together. It's no big deal. And so to feel that way about being able to see my path forward, where just like 30 minutes ago before I journaled all of this, like I couldn't see. And it was really scaring me. And I realize now I didn't have the power to be able to see. There was like the path forward was, go with me on the very, very bulky analogy here, but like the path forward was at like 7 feet tall. And with the power that I'd reclaimed so far, I was only 6 feet tall. But this project brought me every ounce of power that I needed to reclaim to grow an extra foot. And now I'm 7 feet tall and I can see the path forward. And this is the beautiful thing about uncomfortable situations. Now I'm 7 feet tall. So I can see this other piece from a 7 foot tall vantage point, and I can see this other piece from a 7 foot tall vantage point, where I was looking from 6 foot tall before. And that gave me a really great view. And I had, no stress on these other pieces. But now I have even less. Now I have even less stress on all of those other pieces that have nothing to do with this one piece, this one project. Seems isolated. Seems like this isn't related to anything else I'm doing. But nothing is random. Nothing is out of step. Nothing is out of order. Every ounce of discomfort that we feel is right on time.